Brian, we've said this repeatedly, but now it is playing itself out and proving to be true. They're trying to turn Taiwan into Ukraine.
Exactly. And this is exactly what the U.S. was doing with Ukraine in the lead up to the Russian special military operation. They were training Ukrainian troops. They were arming them. They were creating a national security threat to Russia on its border that Russia could not ignore. Now, with Taiwan, the United States is doing the same thing, except it's within China's borders. Taiwan is internationally recognized as part of China's under international law. The UN recognizes it as an island province of China. And the United States, through its One China policy, actually recognizes Taiwan as part of China. So they're violating international law. They are violating their own agreement with China. And they are doing almost verbatim the exact same process that provoked the conflict in Ukraine. Now they're doing it within Chinese territory. It's really unbelievable.
Let me give you another place where I think this similar fate could befall the troops. Haiti. They are using Kenyan troops and they are using Rwandan troops in the same manner that they're only difference is
ECOWAS. They want to use ECOWAS troops as proxies in Africa.
Well, yes, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
I'm still on the shores of Haiti. I just landed on the shores of Haiti. You're trying to already get me back to anyway. They're using mercenaries to go into Haiti and fight their fight. And I don't think they're – I just want to make the point. We don't have to get into a whole lot of discussion about it, Brian, unless you've got some insight. I don't think that those Kenyan and Rwandan troops are going to fare well when they get on the shores of Haiti. I'm just using that as another example of the United States finding other human beings as its cannon fodder.
The Kurds and ISIS in Syria. Brian
Berletic.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a symptom of an empire in decline. This is what the Roman Empire resorted to when its own military was incapable of managing its empire. They recruited mercenaries and auxiliaries. And eventually they found these people were not as willing to fight. Their motivations were mixed and questionable. Some of these groups ended up turning on the Roman Empire. And I think we're watching the same thing happen in recent history to the United States with all of its proxies. And one question you have to ask yourself, especially regarding Taiwan, have these people learned absolutely nothing from history that didn't just unfold? It is still unfolding. The horrors of what is happening in Ukraine is daily headlines. They learn nothing from that.
And that takes us to the next story, which is Japan's proposed $53 billion military budget aims to shape country into U.S. proxy. So now, not just Taiwan. So they're saying, hey, we want to fight China to the last Taiwanese, to the last South Korean, to the last Filipino, to the last Japanese. They're saying, hey, all of you schmucks in Asia, you see Ukraine? Yeah, that's your fate. You all do it. Brian.
Yes, and then people must ask themselves why. Why is the Japanese government agreeing to do this? And the answer is simple. Japan, like the Philippines in many ways, it is a politically captured country. The government is a product of Washington's interference in the country. The U.S. literally militarily occupies Japan. And they are going to shape Japanese foreign policy to suit Washington at the expense of Japan. And what many people might not even realize is that China is Japan's largest trade partner. So they are adopting a hostile posture militarily against their largest trade partner. Does that sound like it's in the best interest of the actual Japanese people rather than in the best interest of Washington? The answer is no, clearly.
Japan exists as a nation politically captured by Washington, and Tokyo's foreign policy to a large degree is driven by American interests, says this incredibly brilliant analyst. Oh, Brian Berletic, you said that.
Yes.
Yes. And wait a minute. And to that point, of this $53 billion that's supposed to be China's defense budget? I'm asking this because I don't know. Is any of that money actually coming from the United States so that Japan can buy American weapons? Because we were reporting either earlier in the week or last week that some of this money that's going to these countries is coming out of the State Department.
That I'm not sure of, but that does happen with other countries.
Right.
So that is something that could be possible. But at the end of the day, it's either the American taxpayers or the Japanese taxpayers expending money that could be better used for their own interests being spent on Lockheed Martin, F-35s, for example. That is one of the high-ticket items Japan is going to be buying as part of this military expansion. That suits Lockheed Martin and really nobody else.
Now, let me ask you this. There's another story, and I know it's of interest to you. Japanese government increases aid to local fishermen to $700 million amid China's seafood import ban. I'll put it to you like this. I don't want no sushi from Japan. I don't want any sushi from that area because it's probably self-cooking. Microwaves itself on the way there. Your thoughts on what's happening with the Japan dumping all of this radiated water into the sea, and of course, sensibly people saying, perhaps I will lay off the Japanese seafood at this point and seafood from that entire area. Your thoughts?
Exactly. We talked about this previously, how Japan claims that the water has been treated and filtered and it's perfectly safe. And yet, instead of using it domestically, they're dumping it into the ocean, which is highly suspicious. And I looked into this further since then. I was looking at the International Atomic Energy Agency's website, claiming that everything meets international standards regarding Japan dumping this wastewater into the ocean. They cited technical reports, which they hoped no one clicked on and actually looked at, because on the very first page, it's indicated that these reports were funded by the U.S. government. So Japan, by choosing this path backed by the U.S., has now forfeited doing business with its largest trade partner. China has hurt its seafood industry, and now the government is going to have to subsidize it because rightfully people are afraid of these products, and they should be, because the same people who are responsible for the Fukushima disaster, the incompetence that led to it, are now the ones supposedly cleaning it up. And so nobody trusts them and nobody should.